limousine. No! And he ran away as fast as he could. The Great Snail Race. Adapted by Kim Ostrom. Illustrated by Clint Bond and Andy Clark. Based on the teleplay The Great Snail Race by Paul Tibbitt, Kent Osborne, and Meriwether Williams. It was a sunny morning in Bikini Bottom. A mailman knocked on Squidward's front door. "It's finally here," said Squidward. The mailman glanced at Squidward's signature. "Thank you, Mr. Tennis Balls." "That's tentacles," corrected Squidward. "Hey, check out Squidward's new snail," said Patrick. "Looks like Gary has a new playmate," said SpongeBob. Squidward rolled his eyes. "I wouldn't let Snelly play with your mongrel mutt. Snelly's a pedigree." "Excuse us. She has to train for Bikini Bottom's snail race. She'll be winning this Sunday." "Well, I guess I can't enter Gary," said SpongeBob. "Sunday's laundry day." Squidward sighed. "You can't enter Gary because Gary isn't a purebred. But Snelly has papers," he said, as he shoved his fancy document towards SpongeBob. "Patrick, you know what I should do," said SpongeBob. "I should enter Gary in that race and beat Squidward's snail." SpongeBob had a lot of work to do. First, he made a nutritional smoothie. Gary took one look at the drink and slithered away. Patrick came over to show SpongeBob his new snail. "Your snail is a rock," said SpongeBob. "He's got nerves of steel," said Patrick proudly. SpongeBob realized the competition was getting fierce. SpongeBob blew his whistle. "Let's start with some sprints. On your mark, get set, go!" Gary barely moved. "Come on, Gary," shouted SpongeBob. "You've got to start training if you're going to win." Just then, Squidward peeked in. "Don't waste your breath, SpongeBob," Squidward said. "All right, Gary. No more fooling around," instructed SpongeBob. "Come on, move it. Up, up, up. Down, down, down. Faster, faster, faster. Go, go, go!" The day of the race finally arrived. "Well, SpongeBob, I didn't think your mongrel mutt would even find the starting line," snickered Squidward. "Gary happens to be in the best shape of his life," said SpongeBob. Gary coughed and wheezed. SpongeBob gave Gary his final pep talk. "Listen up. You're the undersnail. Now get out there and win!" "Meow," muttered Gary. "On your mark," shouted the referee. "Get set, slither!" "And they're off," said the announcer. "Number 6, Snelly, rockets out into the lead." "Go, Snelly! You got it, baby!" cheered Squidward. Gary snail was also at the starting line. It's okay, Rocky, Patrick said. You go when you feel like it. Gary panted heavily as he slowly began to move. Not good enough, shouted his coach. Faster! The more SpongeBob yelled, the faster Gary tried to go. But it was no use. Gary was exhausted. Suddenly, Gary's bloodshot eye popped. It looks like number 7 has a blowout, said the announcer. Shortly after, Gary's other eye blew. Make that 2, folks, said the announcer. Gary began to spin out of control and headed straight for the wall. Man! No! Shouted SpongeBob. Hold on, Gary! I'm coming! SpongeBob raced to Gary's side. One of the coaches has raced onto the track. That is an automatic disqualification. Looks like number 6 has this race won, said the announcer. Squidward cheered. Come on, Snelly! Oh, Gary, cried SpongeBob. Why didn't you say I was pushing you too hard? Meow, said Gary. You did? Oh, Gary, wailed SpongeBob. Suddenly, Snelly stopped racing. She turned to look at Gary and rushed to his side. The 2 snails looked into each other's eyes and purred. My, oh my, folks, said the announcer. I've never seen anything quite like it. Looks like you and me are in-laws, eh, Squidward? Said SpongeBob. The crowd cheered as the winner crossed the finish line. But that's impossible, said Squidward. If Snelly didn't win, then who did? And the winner is Rocky! Shouted the announcer. The crowd went wild. Patrick laughed until he cried. Patrick rushed over. Don't worry, Squidward. I know how much you wanted to win, so I had the trophy engraved to you. Gosh, Patrick, thanks. He read the plaque out loud. The Snail Racing Cup is presented to Squidward Tortellini. Patrick and SpongeBob happily hugged their friend. It's Squidward Tentacles! Will I ever win? Grumbled Squidward.